Hey everyone, I'm Nikhil, also known as Nick. I'm actually a molecular biologist by profession, and I've been working at a company called Natera, which is focused towards diagnosis of Down syndrome or other genetic abnormalities early into the pregnancy. 4 months before, lately pretty much it was like the first week of January, or actually the week before that, my housemates connected me to Julia, who was organizing this awesome event called Day of the Idealist. And I think I met few of you at that event. And for me, that event was very, very interesting. And that, after attending that event, in which we basically did a bunch of activities that were involved towards looking into yourself, what kind of things that you like to do, what are your qualities what are your qualities that you want to gain and you want to work with, and so on. At the same time, I met a lot of people who were really very interested towards the idea of artificial intelligence, life extensions, capturing every moment of their lives, and so on. And we also decided, some of us, that we will keep in touch and we will see and share the events and the moments that are happening there. Though that did not happen, I thought today would be the time that I might share some of the things that after that event let me basically help to learn about this kind of topics and some of the other cool things that I think I'm aware of and maybe just cool to share with you guys. So the first in the areas of like a lot of people say here, singularity, or topics about creativity or what's maybe the purpose of life. Very lately, I came to know about this podcast called Future Thinkers. It's actually a podcast by two people who are trying to basically make a business of internet web design, but they literally moved from Bay Area to Thailand to explore life and also basically see what are the differences that the life are in here versus life in very, very small parts of Asia. Now, if you listen to the podcast, you will hear a lot of things about creativity. Also, like in small places like China, how they do different things. Like Marco talked about, which is a different way to put things to put the bikes on the Caltrain. There are small villages in China that basically have a completely different system of medicine. Rather than paying when you get cured, they have villages in which you basically pay the doctor every month. If you get sick, you don't pay for that month. What the incentive there, the doctors will make sure that you are healthy and doing very, very fine. They will make sure that you are attending them or you are seeing them on a regular basis. And that way, that will make sure that people are much more healthier, much more energetic, and basically benefiting for everyone else. Other things that I saw into this podcast is things like the movie Her, how the artificial intelligence is changing, what were the restrictions of virtual reality, how people are thinking about it, and things like that. So anyway, if you guys get a chance, I would highly recommend to check it out. Another podcast, I'm listening to a bunch of podcasts during my Caltrain lives from San Francisco to here. Is this podcast called Intelligence Squared. It's actually it's kind of an extension of a very old debate kind of system in the UK. I think it has been happening since like early 1900s. It's a platform in which there every week there is a topic about, say, would women make better CEOs or would they work, or what are the problems of the current world, like why there is poverty in one country versus there is so much development in others. And so there are a couple of talks. One of the ones which I want to mention was this talk by Daniel Coleman, and he talked about focus. Like a very easy example that was discussed in this talk was like teachers have been teaching this 13-year-old with the same English storybook. I forgot what was the name of that book. But lately he was saying that last 3 years, what I've been noticing is that more and more kids are complaining about, I cannot really understand what this book about. Why are we having such a difficult book at such an early stage? And the teacher just has to complain, this book has been actually existing there for the last 15 years. What is happening now is that only last 3 years, these kids are having more and more difficult time in basically grasping the information. And one of the key things that he talked about was basically focus. Though people should use the opportunity to maybe to wander into the ideas, or maybe wander or let their brains wander into different applications or modes. But at the same time, they should basically also try to maybe focus or maybe do things like meditation that will literally actually help them in being more creative, which is, sometimes we talk about being able to build more stuff. Okay, changing gears, I would rather talk about, since a lot of people are really excited about life extension, I have done a bunch of, being a molecular biologist myself, I literally got good opportunities to do sequencing on myself. So I have done 23andMe, which is not there anymore. But lately, I have been more excited towards the idea of microbiome. Lately, you may have heard like Craig Venter has actually also decided his idea to venture into the idea of life extension. And since there are 10 to 100 times more microbes in your body than your own cells, they are basically trying to see what would be a healthy state for people, in the sense that, well, different people have different kind of diets, people live in different kind of places. But if you really want to live really long, or if you want to feel that you are really healthy, say you can bike from here to the Calton station, which is actually a very difficult ride, can you do that on a day-to-day basis? And one of the things that you could do is just, okay, of course, about taking care of your own body, but it's also making sure that the things like the microbiome or other cells in your body are very doing like that. So now there are a few companies like Microbiome or Whole Biome. So if you also, have systems like in which you are going to preserve yourself or your brains, you should also try the microbiome. Thank you.
Yeah, questions.
Two questions.
Question.
Yeah.
I recently heard there's this app Couple, and they introduced an AI romantic partner option that is now beta tested. So I just wanted to put that into people's awarenesses. I haven't played with it myself.
Did it come out on April Fool's Day? I didn't click the link.
My friend is a beta tester now. So I'll find out what she says. Maybe it is a joke still, but she's on their list.
And uses artificial intelligence to basically put people together.
That's the idea. I'm very skeptical, but it's worth looking at, I guess.
Yes, I'll do.
How do you find this information actionable? So I did like 23andMe and like, great, I have like 3% less chance of disease. Somehow. What are you gonna do?
I agree. So some of that's a very good question, and I agree. Though as we are learning more and more about, say, DNA and microbiome, not all the information is actionable, but you have to also understand that those things are also going to be only actionable based on your own relative past. So, like, say, for cancer, if people want to identify whether there are any cancer cells growing in their body, the best thing that they can compare to is not other people or not other mutations, but your own past. So if you have, say, genomic data, or if you have, say, your microbiome data from the past, and if you compare that to today, that would actually be the system that would basically help you to like interpret your data more better. So I agree. For a few things, there may be, like, say, for 23andMe, yeah, you can know a few things like, if you have, say, gluten tolerance, or how much alcohol should you drink, or how much should you drink caffeine, like a whole glass or weight, or you should basically have small just espressos and that.
We can all know this just from like experience and trying those, and then we'll see how we respond. Like, I don't need a test to tell me that.
For few things, yes, but for few things, say, diseases that might happen later in life, and if those diseases, say Alzheimer's, if people have a high propensity of Alzheimer's later in life, doing things like, say, more brain-related tests, or making yourself more active, or learning activities like dancing, which we know do make a difference, would definitely help in people's life extension.
So it can induce emergency states because you're like, wow, I really don't want to get Alzheimer's, so I better like exercise more.
Yeah, exactly. This is correlation.
There are lots of people who get actionable information from there. So I know lots of people who receive actionable information.
It depends on
And relatives too. I mean, I found out the names of my great grandparents by being connected to a second cousin, for
One more question. Any more questions? Comments? Cool. Okay.
That's it. Thank you.
All right.
I can go next.
Cool. All right. You have a laptop.